We are going to review how to write linear equations given different scenarios. And we remember that we are always writing linear equations in the form of y equals mx plus b. Okay, we know that m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. Our first scenario, we are given the slope and we are given the y-intercept. So all I need to do is substitute. So my slope is 1/3, so y equals 1/3 x, and the y-intercept is -5 minus 5. Okay, that's the easiest one. They gave us both the slope and they gave us the y-intercept. Okay, now the next one is we have to write standard form and change that into slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to write over my equation. Now if you recall, we have to change and move things here. So I want to isolate my y. So I have to move my 4x to the other side of the equation. I'm left with -2y equals -4x plus 14. I'm going to divide by -2, all parts. -4 divided by -2 is equal to a positive 2x. Now I cancel these out, so I'm left with just y. And then 14 divided by -2 is going to be -7. So I had to change from one format to the other. Standard form, just move your x over first. And then if there is a coefficient with the y, divide every term by that number. Now looking at a graph, we want to find the slope from that graph. And there are 2 points already there. So we are going to connect those 2 points. So counting, we know that m is equal to the change in y over the change in x. So what would my change in y be? 1, 2. And since it's falling down, I'm going to say -2. So my change in y is -2. And how many going across? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So my slope is -2 over 5. What is my y-intercept? Where does it pass through the y-axis? Would be right there at that point. So my b is 0, -1. So putting that all into our equation, we are going to substitute our m, which is -2 over 5. Y stays, x stays, and our b, which is -1. Okay, now we have a slope and a point. We still need to use y equals mx plus b, and this time we're going to substitute because we don't know what our b is. We don't have any idea what b is. So we need to find the b first. So y equals mx plus b. I am circling because that's what I'm looking for right now. So I have a point. That point is x and y. Remember to label that so you recognize which one's x and which one's y. So I'm going to substitute my 3 equals my slope is negative 3. My y is negative 1 plus b. So I substituted my point for xy and my slope. So 3 equals negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3 plus b. I now am subtracting 3 from both sides. B is equal to 0. So y equals mx plus b. I'm substituting in for my m, which was given to me as negative 3, and my b, which I found, which is 0. Now you might see it written that way, but most likely you are going to see it written as y equals negative 3x. If you have the 0 in there, that's okay. All right, the last one is finding the slope and the y-intercept. So whenever we find the slope, remember we did this. M equals the change in y over the change in x, which equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We're going to use that formula to find the slope first. So this is x1 and y1, and this is x2 and y2. So I'm just going to, since it's written here, I'm just going to continue writing it here. Remember, I always tell you to put your line in and put your two subtraction signs in, so that way you won't be confused with the negative signs. So my y2 is negative 13, and my y1 is negative 7. My x2 is positive 8, and my x1 is negative 4. Keep, change, change. Negative 13 plus positive 7 is going to give me a negative 6. And 8 plus a positive 4 is equal to 12. That is going to be equal to negative 1 over 2. So my m is equal to negative 1/2. Now we have to find b, just like we did in the example above. Okay, so we're going to do y equals mx plus b. Now I know my slope is negative 1 over 2. Now I can choose either one of those 2 points to use as my x and y. I am going to go ahead and use negative 4, negative 7. So negative 7 is my y, and negative 4 is my x. And I'm looking for b. I'm going to go ahead and put that negative 4 over 1 so I know that I'm dealing with a fraction there. So negative 7 is equal to, negative times a negative is a positive. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2 plus b. Negative 7 equals, what's 4 divided by 2? 2 plus b. Now I need to subtract 2 from both sides to move it to the opposite side of the equation, and therefore b is going to be equal to negative 7 plus negative 2 is negative 9. So I have found my b. I found my slope. Now we're going to put it all into the equation. Y equals mx plus b. Y stays. My slope is negative 1/2. X stays. And my b is negative 9. Now this is all a review. We've done all of this before. This is just a review.